Yes, hi there. I may have the very first actual, real, proper unboxing to do. So we will see how I do at that. Um, I'm immediately tempted to go off into all sorts of tangents because, as maybe you can tell, I am cheering up quite a bit from this morning. I may post this tomorrow, by the way, because I don't want to flood your inboxes. It's bad. This is, let me stick to my deck. Okay. This is the Tarot Cabalistico, Español, Inglés, Francés. And it is 79 colored cards and instruction leaflet, it says. Made in Spain. Printed by Naipes Heraclio Fournier in some distant region of Spain. And it has a lot of Hebrew letters even as a logo, like so. It's a decent box with a fairly old school type logo printed inside. It's quite nice. It doesn't have any fancy items to it other than there's the little thumb holding notch in the box right there. And then this is my deck. This I actually saved to unbox together with my viewers because I haven't I was working on Kabbalah related material, and then I found this in my lucky haul that I did Saturday. And so I just put it aside. I unboxed the other two of myself, and I do think I have taken this out of the plastic, and I've also seen just the outsides of this booklet, like so. This is just a little white book, and it is 100 pages in the three languages, French and English and Spanish. It's a Spanish make, and either of these languages will do. And it even has a few spreads. Let me find those English versions of that. There's a lot of Kabbalah references in here. Why am I surprised? First arrangements. Different methods of laying the cards. Study of time and personality. This looks like a Celtic cross to a large extent. A smaller Celtic cross version that's just 5 cards. And a third arrangement, what they mean is the third spread, right? The Tree of Life. And it looks like that. So there you get spread positions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like so. And they actually the positions relate to the Tree of Life positions like that. So the meanings of those, everything related to the spiritual at the top. Card number 2, wisdom, intellectual capabilities. Card number 3, understanding, culture and practical intelligence, and so on and so forth. So that's something I'm definitely going to try at some point. So this is just the way that looks. It just folds over like so. And in terms of a little white book, it's not bad at all. So these are the actual cards. It's a fairly decent deck. I would say it's just a tiny bit smaller than a regular Rider-Waite Smith, which I don't own myself, so I cannot compare. I cannot do the card comparison size trick here. I can compare it to one of these, to a playing card. That's a regular playing card size right there. So they're quite a bit taller. These are the backs. This is just a general manufacturing information card. And then we go straight into the deck. So I should really show them like this. I may not necessarily show each and every one of the cards because they're quite a bit the same. What I feel is really interesting is that up here you can see the path. That's what this Fool card is supposed to connect with. The path from the top Sephirot of the Tree of Life, the top nugget right there, to the right hand side top one, like there, like that. I will stick a link in the description of a Jewish rabbi in America, in New York somewhere, who explains the top set of the Sephirot really well, which I really enjoyed myself. So they couple this card, the meaning of this card, to this position. Let me put my glasses back on, in the Tree of Life. And then we get Hebrew letters with their pronunciation, which I think is rather cool because I have not had enough experience with that. We also get an astrological coupling, which I find also in my own personal make project that I'm making from the ceremonial magic tarot. And I'm not quite sure whether those will be the same. So maybe I can put that in the description as well at some point. And 0 Arcana, and it says El Loco, the Fool. Okay, so then El Mago, Magician, is equated with Mercury, and his position, his path on the Tree of Life goes the other way. So that's kind of interesting. Already I see the point, because what you get is an opposition between, sorry about that, the two directions that either goes, right? Something I hadn't really spotted very well. So I'm just going to go through these cards real quick. I will move out of the view so you can see them, and the camera will hopefully focus on the cards, okay? I'm just going to go through the majors at least. That's the High Priestess, then through the middle, right? I can see actually how this makes sense. And through the middle, horizontally, and the Venus sigil. So that's the Empress, Imperatrice, yeah. And we're going to the Emperor, like so. And the Hierophant, like so. And the other one, the Lovers, goes, so it is symmetrical to the Emperor, this one. And then logically, the Chariot goes, il carro, vertically again, just like parallel, or yeah, similarly, symmetrically to the path of, what was it, the Hierophant. And so on and so forth. Libra, of course, for justice, and plenty more. The Hermit is right in there. I might find this actually a lot more instructive than I expected it to be. So that's what I want to hear myself say, right? Horizontally, strength between those. And all this you should see as, I mean, I would like everybody to really go and have their own learning process with the Tree of Life and the Kabbalah and all that. But it basically has to do, as I understand it now, what we're looking at is the process from a world, let's just call it for argument's sake, the world of the soul, or the world of God or the gods, right up there, through layers of ideas and structures, getting more and more structured basically, into manifestation. So that's how they look at that type of thing. We're at the Death card. Hang on. El Colgado. Oh yes, this was the Hanged Man. Hadn't even looked at the captions. Death card is right there. So I really want to see what the opposite symmetrical movement of that is going to be on that side. It's not this one. Temperance. Very Marseille, of course. There it is. That's the symmetrical opposite of the death card path, because that was on that side, and here it is, the devil on that side. Very interesting. Yeah, I suppose this has to appeal to you. I am struck again at how different approaches to tarot can be. I had no clue of this. I have watched people do unboxings endlessly of, here we get the moon goes all the way down to Malkut, I think that's called, the lowest manifested part of the tree of life, right there. And this is the sun, doesn't go all the way down to Malkut. I'm talking about people, okay, and here is the opposite of that path, going all the way to Malkut as well. Judgment. I find this really interesting because this is a type of approach that is not dependent on images, right? Not so much. Of course, these are images, but they're also very much ideas. This is the world, full manifestation. Eek. Okay, now we get a completely different approach. Oh, here's the number 22, Invisible Paths. The comet. They just had to go out and do something original and different. So that's that one. And then we go to the King of Wands. This is him. And he's got all this activated, I guess. Fire element. Is there a difference then between these setups? Yes, the colors in the tree of life are different. The nuggets, okay, the Sephirot have different colors in each. So that might be really complex to keep track of. So that will apply all the way through. We are going to the Knight and the Page, like so. They are really very similar. And what you have to do, of course, this is again a different type of Tree of Life depiction going through the minors here, as they are. So they're spotted. They've got polka dots in the case of the pages, which is kind of funny. Anyway, I'm struck by how tarot kind of invites us all to take our own visualization approach with all these things. So a lot of this is, of course, you can see as these are all the same colors, the same tree, the same everything, right? So it's just the numbers, and then there's a astrological planetary position and sign associated with them. And these I will of course put next to my what was it, ceremonial magic cards when they're done. And I've got the 5 here. This one actually has like a quarter of a Sephirot taken out. Let me go back a bit. Yes, this one also, I hadn't spotted that. This one has a quarter taken out there, and so on. So that'll be the thing for the Sephirot, where the Tree of Life, the what's it called? The whole thing. I've forgotten. Where that is, where the distinction is made then. So it goes on like this. Here we're at the Ace of Wands at the top with our little quarter taken out. Aleph. I'll have one. So I'm going to put the Ace of Wands aside because I'd like to compare the aces among them. Here I have the court cards for the suit of cups again. Also again the polka dots for the page. Kind of funny. And 10 of cups is Malkut. Oh yes, there's the name of the relevant Sephirot right there. So the Sephirot is actually one of those nuggets, right? Of the Yesod. And Yesod is the one right above Malkut, right there. It's my my Yiddish heritage, I think, that makes for me that I enjoy this type of Keter. Can you focus or can't you focus? Why won't you focus? I'm just trying to sit here for the thing to focus, but it won't focus. I know you can do it. It doesn't want to focus. Anyway. Keter, and the Ace of Wands also has Keter, because that's the level of manifestation that we're at with the aces. That's the idea. Okay, so going on then, I won't go through all the court cards. The swords we're at now, we don't have any astrological associations here. For the court cards, they're without astrology. The 10 of Swords, it says here, that, for example, the Sun in Gemini. It says for the 9 of Swords, Mars in Gemini. I can maybe try and find this one quickly in the ceremonial magic cards. Let me grab them real quickly, because I have seen that one recently, and it is a blue card in my version of the deck. 2 of Swords, that's not it. The 9 of Swords, you guys. I'm looking for the 9 of Swords because I'm not avoiding my problems anymore. So bring it on. 8 of Wands, 9 of Cups, 9 of Swords. Here we have it. Mars in Gemini, like so. So it seems that there is actually quite a bit of consensus on these things. And that's good, because happy. I want to be sure that I'm studying the thing and that's actually going to get me somewhere. It's very different. It is so different whether you do this tarot thing based on hermetic hidden knowledge, which is what this is all about, which is what I'm trying to get at, and or whether you are going to try and convey Venus in Aquarius for the 5 of Swords. I could look them all up. And so on and so forth. Whether you're actually going to try and express this content that you have found, or maybe in your life you have seen this manifested because you keep drawing the same card over and over again, and so you you just find that it's all really the same. It just looks very different. Maybe that's what I'm trying to get at here. I am not even sure about this at all. This looks like a really nice database of this Cabalistic information. I will just leave it at that for now. It's a fairly rare deck from what I've seen. I've only seen one unboxing of this deck in French on YouTube. So that's why I also wanted to do this. And since I'm a bit more into this whole Kabbalah intel at the moment. I am kind of trying to... I will spend quite a bit of time in this winter studying old symbols, it looks like, and try to find on the internet, of course, many more details as to this is the Ten of Pentacles in this deck. This is actually the original card. This is what the card looks like in the Ceremonial Magic Tarot. Okay, gone into that quite enough, I think. This is the Ten of Swords. Yes, and it is Sun in Gemini, Sol in Gemini also. So it looks like all those associations are actually more or less standard, and there aren't really, I think, as far as I can see so far, there aren't any huge discrepancies. It's like it's known. These associations are known and accepted. Another thing that's interesting about the Ceremonial Magic deck is that you get, let me move out of the screen, I don't know if it makes any difference, you get decans in here. So a third of an astrological sign is given as an area of the zodiac that applies in particular to this card meaning. And what I'm going to definitely do, I will have to make a list for myself what it is that I'm supposed to be researching, because I've been doing a bit of, messing around in lunar mansions information, and it's very old school. A lot of this is really like pre-18th century. And the basic assumption for the lunar mansions, I would say, as it is, as I look at it now at the moment, is that parts of the sky were lucky, other parts of the sky were really unlucky, and whenever there was something important going on in the heavens that probably relates to your birth chart, then you would get like advice based on that in the old days. I think that's going to be, it feels to me like that is really an important part of how people used to work with this type of material. So the connection between this deck and the lunar mansions is going to provide information as to how that really worked. And I want to sort it all out and check whether the references are really all the same. And this deck, the Cabalistico, will do more in terms of the study of the actual tree of life itself, I think. And because I don't know, I suppose I will have to get me a book at some point. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little venture into esoteric old school terrain, and I will be seeing you again very soon. Okay, thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.